What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. It's fight day. The most anticipated heavyweight title fight since Iron Mike Tyson fought Lennox Lewis. A fight that took place in Memphis, Tennessee, Barbecue City. Went down in the Pyramid. This fight here today between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the rematch going down at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's on again, and it ain't no stopping. All I want to see is a body dropping. It's going down, it's going down. Look here, I went back and watched the first fight this morning. And I saw, a lot of things that I kind of forgot about because I hadn't watched the fight since actually, the night of the fight. I watched it live just like millions of people watched it live, either on pay-per-view or on streaming. A lot of people did a lot of illegal streaming, watching that fight. But I went back there and watched the fight this morning. And a lot of things I saw in this first fight could play out in the second fight. First of all, Fury made Wilder miss a lot in that fight, but he didn't make him pay for missing. I think Fury's gonna try to make him pay for missing. I think that's what he meant by he's gonna try to come in there and knock Wilder out in the second round. He's ready to go to war. He's ready to meet him in the middle of the ring and go toe-to-toe with him. I don't think he's necessarily going to do that. He might do it in spots, but I think he really means he's going to make Wilder pay. He was saying that he hurt Wilder multiple times and he didn't go in for the kill. I don't think he hurt Wilder. He might have stunned him a couple times. I don't think he hurt him. He wasn't nowhere close to knocking Wilder out, even knocking him down. So I don't think that was the case, man. But I did notice, man, he made Wilder miss a lot, but he seemed like he was in a position to make him pay for missing, but he didn't let his hands go for whatever reason. Another thing I saw rewatching the fight is Fury got a lot of credit for landing punches that he didn't actually land. The crowd got caught up in it. That's kind of bad because, the fight was in L.A., Staples Center, but it obviously was a pro-UK crowd, man, because everything Fury was doing, you hear the crowd roaring and stuff like that, and that gave people a false sense of he was doing much more than what he was doing in that fight. Even the Showtime commentators got caught up in there. He would land a jab, and then he would throw a right hand and miss. And then Paulie Malignaggi and Al Bernstein, they'd be like, oh, man, beautiful combination by Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is really looking good. Wilder's going to have to do something. Wilder's got to... He keeps throwing that right hand, man, but he keeps missing, man. Wilder's going to have to change it up. Wilder needs to start using his left hand more. They was getting caught up in what the crowd was, the crowd roaring every time Fury was doing something. Fury actually wasn't even landing. And when you look at the CompuBox total punches landed by each fighter, Fury landed a total of 86 punches, and Deontay Wilder landed a total of 71 punches. So it was like 15 punch difference between, in a total of 12 rounds. So what's that like? Is that like, you go 12 rounds, on the average, Fury was outlanding Wilder less than one punch per round. If you go on the average, 12 rounds and you outlanding somebody by 15 punches, that's a little more than one punch per round. A little bit more, less than 2 punches per round. That's a little more than 1 punch per round. Because if it was 2 punches per round, say he was outlanding Wilder 2 punches per round, he would have ended up at the end of 12 rounds 24 more punches than Wilder. It was 15 more punches. So he outlanded Wilder a little more than 1 more punch per round. But the bottom line was Wilder was able to knock him down twice. So that was the equalizer. So he more than compensated for being down 15 punches in total of 12 rounds. He landed the 2 knockdown punches, which should count for much more than somebody outlanding somebody 1 punch per round. So I know you got to take each round individually. I'm kind of simplifying. You got to take each round is like a game. Round 1 is like a game. I won game 1. Okay, let's go to game 2. Game 1 ain't got nothing to do with who's gonna win game 2. So each round is its own entity. Is his own entity each round. So, but I'm just saying, people make it look like, oh man, Fury, besides the knockdown, Fury wanted to fight 10 rounds of 2. If he wanted to fight 10 rounds of 2, he would have outlanded Wilder more than 15 punches at the end of the round. And that's not even saying that's accurate, because the total CompuBox punches, that's somebody sitting there punching a button, watching the fight just like me and you. So they might have been giving credit for Fury landing punches that he didn't land, going by what the crowd was, the noise was making every time. Seemed like Fury would throw a combination. They would make a noise. Wilder would block it, or he would miss. And Wilder would, kind of move his head in a certain way to make him barely miss. And the crowd was going crazy like he landed. Maybe the person that was punching that comfy box button, they might have gave him credit for that too. So the fight was a very close fight. It was a just decision, giving it a draw. I had it a draw. When I watched it live, I had it 113. So for all these people talking about this was a robbery, they don't know what the hell they talking about, because this fight was nowhere close to being a robbery. If you had Fury winning, I ain't mad at you. If you had Deontay Wilder winning, I ain't mad at you. If you had a draw, I ain't mad at you. But if you're saying that Fury got robbed and he dominated the fight and he schooled Wilder and it was a mismatch, you talking crazy. You talking out the side of your neck, because that ain't what happened, man. But like I said, man, when I watched that first fight, man, it was very, very, very interesting. Another thing that Wilder did was, like I said this, right after the fight, Wilder was looping his right hand, man. He was looping it. Instead of throwing it straight, he was looping it. It was almost like he was slapping with the right hand at times. And Fury saw it coming from a mile away. And that's one thing I did notice on the replay when I watched it again. Malignaggi kept brought it up. He kept saying, man, he's telegraphing his right hand, and Fury keeps making him miss every time. And he was telegraphing. He was telegraphing it, and he was looping it, and he was slapping with it too, man. He wasn't throwing it straight and trying to punch through the target like he'd been doing, especially in his last two fights, in the Ortiz rematch and the Dominique Brazil fight. So I think that'll be a big difference. One thing Wilder did do it in the first fight, man, he did a good job of going to the body. He hit Fury with some vicious body shots. I'm talking about winding up, man, swinging from the hips type of body shots, man. He was hitting them with, man. So he did a good job in that regard. He just didn't do it enough. I think he's going to be a little bit more aggressive in the rematch as far as going to the body. Fury's coming in at 273 pounds, so he's a much bigger target than he was in the first fight. So that'll lend itself to for us to believe that Wilder will be more aggressive to the body. It's just gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a good fight, man. Wilder was able to get his jab in pretty good in the first fight. He actually out-jabbed Fury in the first fight. When I watched the fight live, I was like, man, Fury's controlling this fight with the jab, man. He's really dominating Wilder with the jab. But, I might have got caught up, listening to the Showtime commentators and, going by what the crowd noise was. And he was, the jab was effective. But actually, when I rewatched it, Wilder out-jabbed him. He had the better jab in that fight. So, it's a lot of things that you miss in the first fight when you go back and look at it. You watching it live, and I'm watching it live, and I'm listening to the people talking and the noise and all that. And where I was watching it was at a sports bar, so there was a lot of things going on. So you miss out on a lot of things. So I went back and watched it this morning, man, and just picked up on a few things, man. And it's gonna be very, very, very interesting, man. But the key to the matter is, for both fighters, is Fury's got to make Wilder play for missing, unlike what he did in the first fight. Wilder's got to go to the body more, because when he did go to the body, you can see that it affected Fury. And Wilder's got to straighten out that right hand, quit looping it and quit slapping at it like he did in the first round. He's got to throw it straight and throw it through the target, and he's got to do that. And Wilder's got to use his jab to the head more. He did a good job of going to the body with the jab, but he's got to use that jab. He landed the jab at times in the first fight, to the head, but he didn't do it enough. He was way more effective jabbing to the body than he was to the head. But I think he's gonna have to jab a little bit more to the head better than he was. Kind of like in the first Bermane-Stavern fight, he did a good job of jabbing and making Bermane-Stavern have to reset when Stavern was trying to get inside to negate the size and length of Deontay Wilder. I think he's got to do a little bit more of that with Tyson Fury, jabbing up top and into the body. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. But just some final thoughts on Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. It's going down May 22nd tonight. But I say May 22nd, scratch that. February 22nd, 2020 is going down tonight, man. Y'all don't miss that, man. I'm going to be back after the fight with a post-fight analysis, breaking down the fight, man, and giving my thoughts on what happened, what transpired. You guys here can look for that later on tonight. If I got some more boxing news, I may be back again with another video, man. There's a lot of other things going on. The Laila Ali-Claressa Shields, they've been doing a lot of talking. The verbal warfare is going on between those two, man. Hopefully they can make a fight, man. Quick thing on that. Quick nugget on that. Claressa Shields did was on the internet, on a Twitter page, and said that, look, the money has been offered for the fight between her and Laila Ali. It's up to Laila Ali to accept it. He says she didn't name the entity that came with the money, but she said that it's been a proposal for $15 million for a Claressa Shields Laila Ali fight. The winner gets $10 million, the loser gets $5 million. So she's waiting on. She says Laila Ali people has already been approached about the fight, and they already have been they've already got a heads up on the proposal for the $15 million. I don't know if it's been formally offered. I don't know if his contract's been sent, but they've already been informed on the proposal for $15 million for a fight between her and Claressa Shields. Like I said, $10 million to the winner and $5 million for the loser. So Claressa Shields said we can make it happen. You know, you talking like you want that action. She said, I'm all about that action. I understand that you are Laila Ali. I understand that you Muhammad Ali's daughter. Much respect to him because I follow him. He's my idol. But this, that, and the third, I understand all that. But me and you can make it happen, man. We can make it happen. We can make it happen, man. You've been calling, you've been saying you don't think I'm that good, and I got skills, but I don't never knock nobody out, and I'm the bigger fighter, and I knock people out when I was dominating the women's division, and saying that she's just not good enough to beat me and this and that. Claressa Shields say I'm all about that action. She say she'll go toe to toe with her, go to war with her. She say she won't take a step back. She say she don't care nothing about Laila Ali saying she bigger than her. She say she sparred 200-pound women's in the ring, in the gym all the time. So she says she don't have no problem. It's not about who the bigger woman is. It's about skill. So they both going back and forth, talking a lot of trash. And I want to see the fight happen, man. Hopefully they'll make it happen, man. But it's up to Laila Ali to make it happen. The ball's in her court. Offer has been formally made to her and her team, and it's up to her to accept it, or up to her to reject it, and maybe try to come with a counter proposal to what she would need for the fight to happen. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what transpires. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.